7 minutes.
It's quite big. I couldn't be bothered to open mine, so I'm just waiting for you to open yours.
그래서 한번 어셈블을 해보도록 하겠습니다. 대박이다. 짠! 다 만들어졌습니다.
자, 그래서 들어갑니다. 아이고야. 첫 시작부터 조금 그렇네. 쪽으로. 아이고. 아, 세상에 안 해. 이게 앵글이 좀 안 되는 것 같은데? 오, 앵글 됐어. Say something. Say something.
Hello. Sucks.
Tell me about the CST experience. What did you enjoy? What didn't you enjoy?
Okay, so I think first of all, CST itself is a 2-year surgical program which involves rotations in multiple surgical specialties. The aim is to give you an experience of different or variety of surgical procedures, just so you can mix it up and be a well-rounded surgeon by the end of it in order to apply for a specialty training. It exposes you to a variety of different things. You definitely see a variety of emergencies. You work with a lot of different people. You appreciate the skills that everyone brings to the team. Similarly, just seeing yourself grow, month after month, and in the skills that you can do. Comparing myself now to when I first started, definitely a big improvement. And you don't see that on a day-to-day basis, but you give it some time and you actually see the improvements.
Access to portfolio, keeping track of your progress. It's not something that I really enjoyed, but you look at the portfolio and you see the progress you've made.
So I think the jump from FY2, the stuff that you're doing is obviously more surgical. So for me personally, quite quickly I was able to get into theatre. I think the curriculum helps because you've got a set curriculum, you've got objectives, you have to do a certain number of procedures. So, and the department know that, so they try and give you theatre time in clinics. So that's one good thing. You're paid in some ways to go to theatre and get these things done. For me personally, on the whole, the departments I was working in mostly were quite good. So the registrars, the consultants, on the whole, were quite supportive of our learning. If you work in a department for a longer period of time, they tend to give you a bit more responsibility. So that was quite good, and it helps you prepare for the next level. So towards the end of my CT2, I was covering registrar shifts if there was a shortage.
I enjoyed the fact that it was a protected training program, and also the teaching, a lot of cadaveric teaching sessions and some laparoscopic teaching sessions. They were quite beneficial. I don't think if we were not in the training program, we would not have had access to it. Being in a training program, it has its own advantages because if you need support, there's always someone to go to. And even for the exams, there are different kinds of support you need for exams. And also, you got unlimited access to the study budget if you want to do courses out of the syllabus, as long as it benefits you. I didn't enjoy the constant rotation. Constant moving of specialties. 4 months feels like it's too short. the portfolio and the ARCP requirements, and I did not enjoy the MCR requirement because a lot of times all of us, we felt helpless with the MCR. There's nothing that we could do rather than go to consultants and keep reminding them.
What I didn't like most was just the constant portfolio chase, and you don't feel you get adequate feedback from them either. You do get feedback in the actual training, but the actual portfolio filling out, I don't see the benefits of it.
Portfolio, yeah. The admin is a nightmare. You have to take records of all of certain number of procedures, cases. We do that on a day-to-day basis anyway, but the fact that you have to log them and get people to sign them off, chase up people for signatures, arrange meetings with people who don't really know you, get those things signed off, email more people, harass people, the paperwork's really annoying, and even if you're on top of it, you're depending on people responding to you, not being on annual leave to get these things done, and that's an unnecessary stress, I think. And if you don't do it, then you might be really good at your job, but if it's not ticked off in the portfolio, then there's a problem.
Exams, I think if you could clear one part before you start CST, I think that would be very, very helpful, because otherwise it can easily just take almost a year of core training, and then you've got to prepare yourself for ST3 as well.
The exams, yes, that can take a big chunk of your life. You give up a lot of things just to focus on. At the same time, you find solidarity, trying to study with your fellow colleagues who are also struggling to try and get through those exams. It's the pressure of the time you have here. That's one of the things that's kind of hard.
Was there anything that was different than you're expecting?
Loads, I'd say, especially protected theatre time. I think everyone would agree with me on this. It felt that we were more here for service provision than as an actual training job. I mean, I appreciate the pressure of the NHS and stuff, but I feel like we could have had a lot more theatre experience. A little bit more protected theatre time and clinic time would have been very useful.
I would echo that. I think I expected that I would, at least by the end of Core Surgical Training, I'd be doing my own little mini lists, doing small procedures or something. But I see now it's a bit too much of an expectation, but you may get to that stage if you really push yourself. But at the same time, there's competition, with your colleagues, and there's also competition with the registrars in trying to get those kind of allocated theatre times. So you are kind of struggling or fighting to get theatre. I thought, you're going to Core Surgical Training, you're just going to be in theatre, and you learn how to become at least a very junior surgeon that's independent. But it was a bit more of a struggle than I thought. Than I expected.
Yeah.
Some choices of my rotations were not the best for core training. I had rotations where only seniors could make decisions, and I was basically like a foundation year doctor in a couple of rotations. So we were told that CT2 was gen surg rotation, but it ended up as a hepatobiliary rotation without general surgery on calls. Missed general surgery exposure, but
Any final advice, comments for future CSTs?
Well,
they say core training is 2 years, but it's not actually 2 years because you apply in 16 months.
Yeah.
You apply in 16 months of starting. It's important to keep on track of your ST3 requirements from the beginning as well.
No, I agree. 16 months, it's quite time pressured. It is good to have some things done even before getting into Core Surgical Training. If you know exactly what you want to do in terms of registrar training, it's not a bad idea to actually just take that time out and do like a trust grid in that specific specialty.
Absolutely.
You can still download the Core Surgical Training requirements and still trying to follow it independently. Of course, you don't get the support and the protected teaching time and unlimited study budget, but everything else is still achievable by yourself. Sometimes you could put yourself in a better position to apply for a registrar training compared to those who've simply done Core Surgical Training.
And if you don't get into CST, that's absolutely fine. I think we can all agree that all of the things that can be achieved in Core Surgical Training can be achieved outside of Core Surgical Training as well. And as Harmony said, it's very, very doable. Even as a trust grade job, you actually know the firm and you know the people, and they'll help you with applications. And sometimes you could be better off doing that, but if you don't want to move around and if you're exactly sure on what you want to do, don't even worry if you don't get CST. It's fine. I'm right,
Yeah,
isn't
no,
it?
I agree.
I agree.
So first bit of advice I'd say is get on top of your portfolio, because no matter how organised you are, it will still cause you a degree of stress. So I had a few times 2 weeks to go before ARCP where I'm emailing people. I was on a holiday, getting signed off over Zoom, which isn't ideal. So I think another important thing is, as you get on in CST, I think you need to try and take a step back from the wards to further your own learning. So it's quite difficult when the FY ones are on the ward, might be a bit busy, and you have to acknowledge that and still try and take a step back for your own learning. It's very easy to get caught up doing ward jobs. That will help the ward, but it won't help you.
Yeah.
So you have to find a balance there. Yeah.
Yeah. I always get stuck.
Yeah, I almost get stuck as well, yeah. Testing, 1, 2, 3. When I came, I went for a pee. It rhymes.
Do you know I'm going to put it?
Don't put that on you.
Don't read it out.
Poor lost soul. After CST, unemployed for 6 months.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All the best.
Cool. Thank you.